Early. I know it's early. I hope everybody had a very restful night. Got some good sleep in. Today, I woke up restful. I woke up, I guess, I woke up with a good attitude or something. I was just, I hate when I wake up and I'm just like, oh, I don't feel like getting up. Wake up yawning. Sometimes your sleep is not restful because you have so much going on. You may go to sleep with some heavy stuff on your mind, and that does interfere with your rest. Because we sleep for a reason. We sleep to um, regenerate. Our body plugs into a energy source that gives us a chance to make things right, do it better, look at things different. But then you have some people that go to sleep and wake up the same way. So, we just got to live and let live. Oh, man. Some hair in my carpet. Mm. I just want to just chit chat a little bit. I know it's early in the morning. Um, I want to talk about questions. That's a big part of growing up, isn't it? It's a way of the mind to regulate what they see, understand what they see and hear and feel, because all this is new. You're born a new being. You're born with a clean slate, and it's always good to encourage questions by asking questions. We should always, even babies, ask them how they doing. Ask them how their day is going. They may not understand what you're saying, or maybe they do. Who knows? But it gives them questions, and then when they begin to answer the questions, it builds a thought process that will eventually regulate your life, because everything begins with a thought. You just don't wake up in the morning and go. It may seem automatic, but it begins with a thought. You wake up to get your day started. That's why we have to safeguard our thoughts, and we have to regulate our thoughts, and also we have to stop certain things getting in our thoughts, our mind, because this system is set up to control you, to manufacture you. I was looking at this show last night called The Big House, and it was talk about the prison sentences, the prisons, and uh, we don't realize. Sometimes we don't think about it, but a lot of these prisons, and the prisons began like in 18. '07 early, they had to build prisons. And I was listening to this one called Attica. It said their first prisoner was a Chinese man, I think, in for involuntary murder, involuntary manslaughter. And I'm looking at these prisons, and I'm like, why would anybody would want to keep going back and do something? I saw this one that had been in prison for 60 years, and one prisoner got life at the age of 15. And you wonder what would make a person go to prison for the rest of his life, rest of their life. And this one guy was talking about how he was doing good. He was going to school. He was about to no, that was something else. He was about to graduate, and but one night changed it all. He came home and found his girlfriend in the bed with another man and shot the man and killed her. And he said he don't understand why he did that. He regretted doing that. It was a bad decision. When you get in a relationship, you have to get yourself prepared for anything that goes down. And how you going to ask some questions. Will you cheat on me? Of course, the person probably gonna say no and wind up doing it. But at least you asked. What would you happen? What would you do if you caught me cheating? Good question. Just because you say something don't mean you're gonna do it, but at least it gives you an idea. At least you got the thought process going, and it may help you and stop you from making a bad decision that could cost you your life or behind bars. Because a lot of people have been put to death in prison the nice way, lay down and go to sleep. Not the way their victim died, but hey, they want to put on the thought of being civilized. Hmm. But getting back to this man that killed this guy, that you gonna kill the guy, but it's your girlfriend that's cheating on you, but you gonna kill the guy. So we don't know if he getting the well. That does happen. That's strange though. She brought him home. Now I could see if he broke in the house and was raping her, but she brought him home and went through the whole procedure. And now he's ruined his life. His life is ruined because even if he do get out, he's going to be known as a murderer for the rest of his life. And see, getting back to questions and talking to our children, even our babies, questions. When they learn how to ask questions, they also know how to answer questions. Whereas the answers are thorough and thoughtful and uh, understood. And you begin to make your own interpretations, and people can't rule you. Because that's what the media has done. It has taken away a lot of our creativity. We get on media to see what other people is doing and putting on and what they're saying. I mean, what they're saying. We see celebrities wearing a dress. We want to go buy another dress. We do that. Yes, we all do that. Um, unless you got a lot of money, you can get stuff designed and get the stuff one of a kind outfits and stuff. And people that can ask good questions are usually good leaders. And people that can ask good questions, I mean, answer good questions are good leaders. And that's another thing that has faltered. Our community leaders and politicians are not being asked good questions. Their questions are so watered down and could be interpreted in so many different ways and so many sound bites, and they talk it out the side of their mouth, side of the neck, uh, and then the news media takes certain words that they say, and these talking points have gotten out of control. It's no the individual. It's hard to judge a person on their individuality when they all is saying the same thing. So really, whose fault is it? Who's accountable? You know, and that's another thing that's uh, lacking in the workforce. When you hire people, they're not being asked the right questions. They don't take the time to interview people and ask the right questions because it doesn't make sense that we're hearing all these tragedies at these fast food restaurants. And for one thing, it's too many fast food restaurants. It's too much. It's too much fast food, and all this fast food is messing our brains up. And then we got people with messed up brains working at these fast food restaurants. Less fast food restaurants, and more health centers. And we're not teaching self responsibility. And they have definitely got away from self governing. So what I'm saying is we need more questions, and we need to stop taking non-answers as answers, because that's what's been going on. And I think we are tired of uh, the news cycle. Something happens, and it just goes on repeat. You could they have a habit of they could answer a question. They could talk about something in 1,000 different ways, but they're still saying the same thing. Now this thing going on now about what the Democrats are doing in Texas. I'm like, repeat. I remember when they did that, and somebody mentioned it. I remember when they did the same thing back in 22, 23. And what happened? They wind up going back, and nothing happened. They maybe this group is different, but they went back, and what they was trying to avoid happened anyway. See, they play games with each other. The Republicans and the Democrats. To me, they just playing um, school, pretending. But see, now the Republicans gonna have to pretend no more. They could be an asshole right in your face, and ain't a dang gone thing you can do about it. They commit crimes right in your face, and because they can. Nobody's asking them the right questions. Um, just like I seen a poll this morning. Okay. Um, they said that. Let's see. What was that? Um, oh, it said 47% of people would still support Trump even if he was on the Epstein list. I said, oh really? They asked in the wrong questions. They should have been asking. Well, if I had my own news station and ran my own polls, I would say how many pedophiles who are Trump supporters don't care if he's on the Epstein list. Because if you are supporting somebody who possibly could be, and be kind of sure, is a pedophile, and you would still support him, you would still hang out with him, you would still go to his golf course and his um, home and have coffee with him, evidently you must be a pedophile, or you don't mind people who abuse kids. And if you don't mind doing it, then you're probably doing it yourself. So that right there just makes me know that these people are scared to lose their job. And we could believe that poll if we want to. And what about the other percentage? Even if you don't support him, what can you do? But sit back and take the blunt force, the blunt for trauma, because that's what we're all doing. Even though we didn't vote for him, we still are affected by what he does and say. We still paying his. We still paying his paycheck. We are paying these people to treat us like crap. And that stuff about, oh, I'm doing this for my constituents. What you do for your constituents still affects everybody in the country. Them lines don't mean nothing. It really don't. And we so tired of pretending all the time. I made a comment on this post that reality shows and the media has really lowered the bar for how society works, how society interacts with one another. Because lying is a huge part of our society. And just like violence and criminality, if it bleeds, it reads. We are so enthused of violence and sexual perversion. Look at any video, any show. You have to have some kind of infidelity, violence, some kind of criminality in it, or it's not a good show. And now they get outrageous with the violence. I've seen this episode of all the kings, all the queen's men. I can't believe it. And we want to turn a blind eye and act like all this stuff is not fueling the fire. We all copycats. We see somebody do something, we want to do it too. And I see how the mind works because I have twin girls, and one daughter got in trouble, got her butt spanked, and when I turned around, the other twin was doing the same thing that she just saw her sister get in trouble for. So I had to whoop her butt. So I don't know if if I should have. I don't know if I should. Maybe I shouldn't have whooped her. Maybe it was. Did she do it to see if she was going to get whooped too, or did she do it because she didn't want to be left out, or did she do it to control me, make me do something? You know what? That's what I'm saying. Learned behavior. A lot of this stuff is learned behavior. And it all starts in the home because we're not guards, and we're not being led by smart, intelligent people. Because some people have kids, but they don't have the kids to instill in them in a vision to help the kids to be leaders, to help the kids to build infrastructure or become a warrior of change. They're not teaching them from infancy up how to be intelligent and how to become how to build character, install morality, and to be better than you. Why do we want our kids to be worse than we are or just okay? And when I see parents cussing their kids out, I mean, I know sometimes you get mad and it comes out, but a whole cursing out, and and see, that's what we're not doing. We even I don't even see the black people with a lot of money. I don't see them raising kids to be warriors of change, to build infrastructure. That's why we are still at the bottom of the totem pole because we don't have any infrastructure. Um, we don't have trade. We don't have businesses. We don't have third party connections. We are making. Are we making anything here in America? Do we have American made products? Do we have a cable news, a news community, a newspaper? Now you have the mainstream media, and they have a lot of connections. That's why you see them always on the spot, making interviews, asking questions. And see what happened is it's intimidating because we as black folks can't really say what we want to say because they're not going to really um, interpret what we're saying correctly, or they're not going to put it on TV. They'll talk to you for 10 minutes, and they'll only put 2 minutes of segment of you talking on there. They're going to dissect what you said and put on what they want to present. So I wish we would stop talking to them. We need to build our own infrastructure. We have the mainstream media. We need a broad stream media. And you would only get that if you have an infrastructure. And that means having a big, tall office building downtown with 200 offices in there, and it's connecting to everything that's going on around the city. And another thing that we mess up at is when we put black in the name or African American in the name, because just like we have the Black News Network, and even though it's I don't know if it is owned by blacks. I don't know, but black is in the name. And all that does is give the white people a reason not to support you because that is their white oppression attitude that they have. You will not hear me say white supremacists because it's nothing supreme about them. They only got it because of old money. They've been making money off people's back since they've been in this country. Um, and the reason why we can't get nothing done or because this country was founded on criminality. Criminals came over here and built this country. So of course the laws are going to be in place because criminals are awarded. Crime does pay. And the laws are made to have loopholes for the rich or the famous to just drive right on through. And then you got the president to pardon you. And you know what else is going on? The way people are prosecuted. Because you have witness intimidation, you have witnesses that are lying, you have evidence that can be planted, you have evidence that is two-faced, proof can be manipulated. The reason is never really fully explained. I believe that the reason should be mandatory. A person should have to get up there and explain why. Why did you do what you did? Eyewitnesses can lie too. Even videos, even crimes on videos can be manipulated. They know how to take stuff out, put stuff in, Photoshop. Now you have this AI that can take stuff out and put stuff in. So we are really at a crisis now, right now. This country, well, the world, really, but this country is really in a crisis. And on how our future is going to be for our children. Because we went from just simple life, no cell phones, no videos. I mean, it's simple life. Now, everything could be good for the good. Yeah. Because for a long time, I refused to get a cell phone because I thought I didn't trust them. I'm putting up something to my ear without a cord. That scared me for a long time. I didn't feel comfortable with something with no cord, no antenna. But then um, this terrible crime happened. I know you heard of the Ray Carew, and who murdered Sharika Adams. I never forget. Because I looked at the whole trial and that hurted me so bad. This is when stuff. You're not used to this kind of stuff. He killed her because he didn't want to pay child support, and after he had her murdered, she lived long enough to call on her cell phone and tell him, my baby's daddy did this to me. And I said, if she hadn't had that cell phone, he might have got away with it. And that's when I decided to go get a cell phone. And for one thing, the payphones were starting to disappear. Because for one thing, people were starting to rob the cell phones. I mean, the payphones. Sometimes it was hard to find a payphone that wouldn't tow up. And so I got a cell phone. And you see what happened. And uh, that was years ago. And I made the mistake of getting my daughter's cell phone. And that's when they was able to give boys their phone number. So that bypassed me answering the phone, knowing who they talking to. Um, yeah. So what was I talking to about before I got in on that? Yeah, so we just have to, yeah, a crisis. The crisis that we is in, because the direction that we're going in, because it's too many stupid people running stuff. And that's not good. Because their decisions are based on stupid people could be manipulated very easily. And most stupid people don't have a conscience. So they'll do anything just for a buck. So what we're going to have to do is get more involved in our community and in our families. Oh, every day is something stupid, and we have to start asking questions and getting answers every time we read something or hear something. We have to start doing our own research and ask questions, and that's especially in the family and the workplace, because now we have to investigate our work um, potential workplace, and buying a home and moving. And I had a conversation with my daughter one time. We was talking about it was on the news about this neighborhood that uh, these kids, it was kids getting shot and dodging bullets and all this. And I'm like, you know what? I would just move if I felt that uncomfortable. And she said, well, a lot of people can't move. I said, yes, they can. If you care about your kids, if you think your life is in danger, it's plenty of places to move to, and you can get help. Because I did it. I left, packed my bags, and me and my kids left, got on the bus, and went to a city I never ever even been to before. Got off the bus 4 o'clock in the morning with nowhere to go. Didn't know a soul. And I, uh, very fortunate, I guess, I was able to get into a nice shelter. And they helped me get an apartment. They helped me get furniture. And, and I know everybody's not going to do that. A lot of people wouldn't do what I did. And I think about like, wow, what the world? What was I thinking? Well, I wasn't getting away from the violent neighborhood. It wasn't a violent neighborhood. I was running away from my life. But I made one mistake. I brought me with me. So I wound up making the same stupid mistakes. Uh, but we have to we have to think about our children and what they're going to be going through, and where they're going to be in the next 10 years. Especially if you got a 10-year-old. At 10 years, they're going to be 20. What kind of country they're going to have if we still um, because what this administration is doing now is going to really affect us for the next 10 years. Not unless something drastic or a miracle or something happens that will destroy this white oppression. And the way we're going, all these young ones being slaughtered in the streets, and our older people are not being well taken care of the way they should, because the older ones now have kids that was born in the 70s and the 80s. So there's a good chance that they went through the crack and heroin, and they didn't really have good jobs. So it's a lot of stuff we need to think about. You know. And then they were talking about how when they stopped that aid from helping people, it's a lot of people that we ain't really seen the blunt trauma yet. Because when I went to the grocery store the other day, I was like, man, this is ridiculous. This stuff that went up since the last time I went to the grocery store. So to recap what I was saying, what I started with is asking questions, teaching our kids how to ask questions, and how to give good answers, and to watch our thoughts. We definitely need to watch our thoughts, and it's hard when you have so much social media, and you could have 100 different thoughts going on. And all these people getting in your head, wanting you to buy this and try this and try this and do this and go here. And stay away from them black parties. I know not all black parties are bad, but you you take a chance. And if you're gonna be around a bunch of black folks, you see, you have to be prepared. When you're around a majority of black people, you have to be you have to have on your majority black people attitude. Now, when you're around a bunch of a majority of white people, you have to evaluate what kind of white people are these, and you have to be prepared for anything because you don't know what they planning. You don't know what people planning in their basement or garage. Just like that man that they arrested, talking about he wanted to kill 30,000 blacks and Jews or something like that. They have that capability. They got weapons. He had grenades. They have explosives. They can get all that stuff. And another thing too, when you're around a bunch of people, you are about around a bunch of I would say 80% stupid people. If something come down, they're gonna panic, and you're gonna get ran over and stumped over. A lot of people died from being trampled because you have stupid people running, just running, because they don't know how to act in a uh, panic situation. I think about it all the time. Like I was telling my son one time, we was talking about I don't know if I was going to go on a trip or something, but we was talking about uh, how people act. You know, we see on TV plane crashes, how people is screaming and hollering. Uh, well, it's all kind of ways you react to traum- traumatic situations. And I was telling him, if that was to happen to me, there's no point of hollering and screaming. Just spend your last few minutes or seconds thinking about the good things. But I told him I'm gonna be cussing myself out. What you on this plane? You know you ain't playing while you. But you know, anything can happen to anybody, anywhere. And I'm like, you know what? I don't even have to be on a plane and get killed by a plane the way they was falling out the sky. So, and a lot of people don't collect their thoughts or make thoughtful decisions ahead of time. Like I was saying, when you get in a relationship, you have to ask each other questions. What's important to you? And just and ask questions continually. That's the only way you'll really be able to have a successful relationship. Like I mentioned earlier about that man that ruined his life when he went home and found his girlfriend in the bed with a man and shot and killed the man. And he regretted, and he's regretting it. Got 25 years to life for what? Bad decision. Where if you would have thought about it, you know that happens. It happens every day. Somebody's cheating on somebody. So what if I came home and found my husband in the bed with another woman? What would I do? Well, that never happened to me before, but I feel like I would just break up. It depends on, if I really want to salvage the relationship. But violence is never an answer. And she wasn't thinking either. What if my boyfriend come home and find me in the bed with you? Evidently she wasn't thinking either. And he wasn't either. If he knew she had a boyfriend. So asking questions help us to have a better thought process. So I am not going to get on that bandwagon what these Democrats are doing in Texas, or why Trump is on the road, or this big. We need to stay focused on what's going on around us and in us. We have to empower ourselves every day. Plan vacations, even if it's only just going to the next city, seeing something different. Start a group. We don't have, that's one thing that's lacking in the Black community. We don't have enough clubs or groups. All we got is bars. Nothing comes good out of a bar. And we have to get back our creativity and renewed energy. And we don't get enough engaged in our older people. I don't, and I'm one of them. I really don't. I'm about the oldest person I know. Yeah, usually when I go somewhere, I'm usually the oldest person there, and we don't engage enough with our elder people. And and I hate the fact that a lot of these uh, young um, parents is not more engaged in with their kids being with older people either. And I'm gonna tell you what's really a shame. I'm gonna end with this. I had talked about it the other day about my grandkids that came up, and the way they interact with each other was kind of disturbing, and it just shows that they're not really teaching them how to engage with one another, how to share, and how to talk to one another. And then they got these tablets, and then they got these phones. So that's so when they are engaging with each other, it's they in it engaging with each other on some learned behavior that they've learned off of these tablets and phones. And they're not building a really strong relationship between one another, like sisters and brothers should. They should be more helpful, be more uh, corrupt, cooperative, learning how to be more interested in solving problems and more thankful. Like I was telling you, saying the other day, that they didn't even know how to say thank you. They didn't even know how to say goodbye. And that's something that you have to teach them. You teach your kids that. And they can only be taught like that if you engage with them like that every day. And you have to show them, and you teach them really by example. And I'm going to read again the 5 agreements. Be impeccable with your word. Don't take anything personally. Don't make assumptions. Always do your best. Be skeptical, but learn to listen. Are we listening to our kids? Are we saying the best words, the right words? All right. Thank you for listening. Remember, ask those questions. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.